Oxe, já começou, eu não tô nem sabendo, beleza. Música, cadê a música? Well, Fix, hey! How are you doing? Where did we stop? Opening bridges and lifting ground. Let me open the chat, the cell phone. I think that I'm going to pretty good. How about you? Yeah, I'm quite low energy on this at this time of the day, so yeah, not quite as good as I could be. But yeah, living, alive, this is what matters the most. Yeah. Like that. No, I gotta find a way to avoid that sliding. See the characters like. Whoa. So I don't know if this is supposed to be floor max angle, max slope angle, or the slope angle. Because depending on how this is processed, like floor max angle. So do we have any documentation on that? As long as this net vector is in contact with the ground, the body will remain attached to the surface. This means you must disable snap in order to jump. For example, you can do this by setting. Okay. Yay, no documentation at all for the floor max angle. So we'll have to experiment with that. Let's say floor max angle will be 1. You're not fixing 90? No. 45, I don't know. The thing is, this character shouldn't be like being able to do that like that, you know. Oh. Well, I'm going to call this done, and I'm going to reach out to Nathan to see if that is something that we should handle, or if it's better to just leave it like that. Don't know. But the, the thing here, the thing with this demo is to showcase that not only, maybe I should do something like that instead, that not only you can animate the linear velocity, but you can also make it you can animate the angular velocity as well. So the thing here is to make something that rotates basically. So make something like this. What? Yeah, I think it will be better to just have a a bridge instead. Stop. Ah. Yeah, so I think that I will keep this one that way. Nathan will probably give a better feedback. So let's call this done as well. Wall sliding jump. Walk on the moon. Let's try to make the top down movement next. Screens. Stomp mechanic. Then we have the moving platform, which, let's load it. And for this one, kinematic bodies can be used for any collision body that moves in the game. This includes moving platforms. For that, it's easy. It's to bring sync physics and animate platform. The motion. Okay. Let's test this. Boop. Boop. Next, let's see. The next one is the opening bridges. Opening bridges. Using centrophysics also works for angular movement, such as opening bridges and spinning platforms. So on this one, I will also add a spinning platform, since I mentioned it. But here I'm going to merge from scene, screen, schematic body, no, moving platform. I'm going to take this one, spin. Okay. Spin. Zero, then 100. And this one can be one-way collision, because it's going to be spinning, right? Let's see the chat. Hi, cortou o cabelo? Cortei! Obrigado por ter reparado. Hey Pig Dev, how are you doing? I'm doing good, actually. Thank you for asking. I'm just a bit lazy because on this period, afternoon, I'm with low energy. But yeah, apart from that, I'm doing great. How about you guys? Question: do you have any plans for working on a longer full-length game? Yes, Kitchen Tales, and I'm just trying to gather the resources to create the minimal viable product. Actually, the minimal viable product is already created. I presented it, I think on 2019, but I need to create a vertical slide so people understand what the game's about. So yeah, I'm gathering resources for that, like working and getting like money, just so I can work full time on my game. But yeah, I have plans for work on that. I think that I'm going to move this spinning platform like, oops, like here, just so I can like jump directly on it. And there is some environment, right? Okay. Ooh. It looks like the character can jump on these bridges. Oh. So let me see something. One way to begin. Oh, freak. Yeah. This can't happen. And it doesn't snap properly. Yeah, gonna keep it that way. As for this platform here, I think that I'm going to make like a ground. Like that. Just so we can land on that. And then the spinning platform will be right here. Just to showcase that we can do something like that. And we. Yeah, perfect. So I think that I'm going to change that to angular velocity. No, spinning, rotating bodies. And change the file as well. Rename rotating bodies. And so let's see. Interesting. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let me see if this is actually working. Yeah, Nathan say that this text should appear somewhere, but I don't know. Gente, quem que tá na live que é brasileiro? Só pra saber se eu tenho que falar em brasileiro, se eu posso. Amazing Cyan, hi, how are you doing? Pigeon Tales? No, Kitchen Tales. Kitchen Tales, is that the name? Is there a place where I can check it out? Let me see if the page is still published, but I think I unpublished. itch.io/kitchen tales. Yeah, so yeah, I unpublished it, but yeah. When it's released and ready to test, probably you can find it here. I'll make a big buzz when this is when I reach that point where I can actually allow people to test this game. Actually, it does have some demos to test. I don't know why I unpublished it. There are some devlogs as well. Let me publish that so you guys can test that. Disabled community draft. Only owners and authorized people can view this page. Public. Configure settings. Disable new and downloads unlisted. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So yeah, you can test it now. But yeah, this is just a basic prototype. Don't expect too much from it. Going back to these prototypes. So now that we've went through some... Oh, wall slide and jump as well. This should be something that we should work as well. Wall slide and jump, okay. Map, let's take rid of this floor here. Take rid of the platform as well. And I will need to create a character. Create a character that actually works. Let me save that. Moving platform. Wall. Slide. And jump. The thing here is that we'll need to create some playground for the character to something like that. And the goal is to reach that place somehow. The thing with this platform, with these walls, is that probably the character will be able to like be here. So I'm not going to use this tile map, or at least not its collisions actually. Yeah, I'm not going to use its collisions, but instead I'm going to create a static body, two walls that use the tile map. So tile. I think that I can make something like this. Yeah, so the thing with these walls is that collision shape. The player shouldn't be able to like. I think it should. Let's undo that. There's no reason why the player shouldn't be able to do it. Like, my concern is that the player can be like on top of the actual wall, like here, and just jump straight, you know. So I think that I'm going to put that here. So players should boop and jump here. Now regarding actual player wall, jump and slide, player wall, slide and jump. There are some tricky stuff to do, so that's why I'm going to make this local, take rid of the, save this, make unique and save it. So two things that we should be aware when we are making wall slide characters. First, this it should take the whole character, not just the legs. Make unique. And something else is that we should have two raycasts to tell when the character is out of the wall. I don't remember how we did that in previous GD Quest project. Nice haircut, thank you. Hey Neonel, how you doing, man? I mean, the tile system in Godot 3 is awful, can't wait for it. Yeah, totally agree on that. The player looks like Eevee from Wall-E. Yeah, it looks like it. Another friend of mine told the same thing, but yeah, it looked like it. I'm great, how about you? Yeah, I'm doing good. Let me join the Discord channel, so if you want to, you can like join the voice channel. Oh, I'm already there. So if you want to join chat, the voice chat, feel free to. So yeah, here we should use two raycasts for the simple reason that we are going to use them to tell if the character is not on a wall anymore. So when they are not colliding with something, we can assume that the character is not sliding anymore. But now here goes the thing. He's jumping, he's landing. So we're going to need a way to wall. Left ray. Left ray is colliding, or right ray that his lighting. Alright, so if the character is on a wall, we should decrease the gravity. I hate this. Okay. Let's see if this. Not quite. Oh yeah. Think that. Let me see if that is actually triggering. Oh, yeah, it is. Something that I should actually do. It's not like that. It's just to multiply that. So this is outside this conditional, and here we just multiply it by. I don't know. Let's export a variable like slide attrict. So this is going to be like in percentage. So it will decrease by 0 to 20% of the actual sliding. Yeah, yay! So let's change that to maybe just 50%. Yeah. And this should only happen if the player is pressing one of the oh, this is going to be a bit messy. I will decrease the request length because this should be enough. So if the player's horizontal direction what is it? So maybe we don't need that actually. So margins on floor. If input dot is action pressed left and left ray dot is colliding. Same thing goes for right. Why is it stopping colliding? Oh, maybe the length is too short. Let's make it like 24. This should be more than enough. Action press. Oh right. With horizontal direction, can make this straight, right? Horizontal direction smaller than 0. Just a second, guys. Espera aí que eu estou em live, querida. 2 tempos.
Ai.
So I think that greater than 0. Something is happening when we try to collide. I think that this is not on the actual. No, it is. Something is happening when we are colliding with these walls, particularly. Because on this one it works perfectly, but on this one it doesn't. Let me add a invisible body here. And this should be this layer. Yeah, so there is definitely an issue with tile map collisions. As expected, right? It's too much to expect things to work and grow. Collision polygon. So I think that using a collision polygon will actually be wiser. Whoop. Whoop. So yeah, now that we have this condition set, we can tell that it's sliding, right? Where is wall sliding is equal to false by default, but on either of those cases going to turn to true. And if we are wall sliding, let me create a small animation for this character. Front. Leg front. And leg back. Okay. Layer. Let's see that. So why this isn't working? Oh. Yeah, I forgot to actually make the pose. Véi, eu vivia te chamando pra ir nesse lugar. Eu sei que lá deve ser da hora, mas eu não acho que seja melhor com acorde não. Mas a gente precisa marcar de lá mesmo. Yeah, so the character should also flip. Um, where's the flipping? Yay. I think that I'm going to make this torso a bit like that and move this bit like that. Make the head arms back, leg front. Yeah. Yay! Wall sliding is working. I think that I need to reach out to Nathan because the main thing with this wall sliding is that I don't know if this will work. Yeah. Now we just need to allow the character to jump, wall jump. Wall jump is a bit annoying to make because if you want to make a really good wall jump, you have to actually apply some gravity towards the wall so that the character performs an arc like that, because otherwise it will just jump straight like that. Or if you want to, you can like point it like on the diagonal like that, but then the character will make something like this, whoop, and will land on the same place where it started. So the thing is that you should always apply a gravity towards the wall so that the character will jump and will be pulled towards the wall again. This is how, for instance, we make those wall jumps like Mega Man X. So I think that we can use this as wall sliding. And start to apply this gravity. But then we are going to need I think that we can apply this wall direction. By default it will be to the left. direction -1, wall direction 1, and then we should go to the velocity .x and start to apply gravity times delta, so that the character accelerates. Wall direction times gravity. And the reason wall direction, I think that this should be outside, because we are going to use that when we apply jump as well. Here. Actually, this should be called wall normal, because it's away from the actually wall direction, because you're going to move it towards the. Let's see if this actually works. No, it's not entering in this wall sliding. It's jumping. Hate those kinds of scripts, because it's hard to isolate the problems when we have everything into a single function. This wall sliding. Why this is not working if it is jumping? Oh, because jumping never happens if the character is not on floor. Alright. So I have to create a is wall jumping that's going to take only that in account, and is on wall. No, and is, let's see. And here, if, let me take rid of that. Okay, so the main thing probably is that the jump strength is not enough when we are on the wall. And this gravity. Where is this being applied? It's on the wall. Okay, so this. No. Don't know why did I do that. I think that this gravity is too strong. One direction times gravity. Let's see if we can make this. Oops. Yeah. This should be the. I think that I should deactivate the. I think that I should deactivate the raycasts when we are jumping. Or should I? You guys there? Is there anyone in the chat? So I'm not too fond of this wall jump. And there's definitely an issue. Nope. Seems like okay. Yep. Yeah. I think that I won't change anything on it. Maybe I should do something like this. What do you guys think? Found it pretty nice. Yep. Yay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm currently just watching you doing the platformer.
Okay then. So yeah, for wall sliding, tile maps don't quite work.
Is it because of like some collision issues or?
Yeah, it seems like tile maps don't calculate collisions as they should, which for some reason is quite expected.
Well, hopefully that issue will be resolved in the next Godot, because
Yeah.
it seems to be quite important, unfortunately.
Yeah, looks like tile sets are getting like a lot of attention in this next release.
For good reason, honestly.
Yeah, they definitely need that because for me, tile maps are one of the core selling points of Godot, because having a tile set like built-in like that is like really cool for an engine. But yeah, they should invest more. Two things that they should invest more time on: tile maps and the animation player.
Yeah, I could pretty much safely say that when it comes to 2D games, most of them, if not like at least half, or 70%, use in some form the tiles. So yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, as you've mentioned, these animations, and if I would have to add something to that, I would probably take a look at lights in general, because there are a lot of people that complain that the lights are not very optimized in the engine, so you can't really use them when it comes to making, for example, mobile games, which kind of sucks, because
Yeah, they're not very optimized.
A lot.
But with the latest implementations in the latest improvements on the render engines, it looks like we are going to have some of the main features that Light 2D had, like masking, which will be quite amazing.
Cool.
So you can use like the sprite of a parent to mask children, and this is going to be very cool. And also they fixed some issues regarding alpha masking. So one of the things that we had on Godot is like, if you put two things that are supposed to be of the same alpha, let's say half opacity, they instead sum up, and you have like the intersection will be 100% opacity, right? It seems like this is also fixed in Godot 4.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Let me...
The tile set, I mean the graphics, the tiles themselves, of course, they are like set in the auto tile, but you've made them yourself, or are they basically
No,
an asset?
Nathan hired an artist for that.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah,
So, yeah.
very cool, honestly.
Yeah, the artist is very competent. I don't know if he's he or she, but yeah, the person is very very good. So we had like this. Yeah, we have a bunch of art assets at the moment, which are all very very polished. The thing actually with this tile map specifically is that it was set quite weirdly. So for instance, if I set that, you can see that nothing is there, even though there is a tile here. And as soon as I add stuff, neighbor tiles, stuff starts to appear. So yeah, the auto tiling wasn't quite set up correctly. But yeah, apart from that, the tile map is really good, especially the graphics. Let me see. Yeah, seems like this wall thing is done.
Yeah, I also have experience with people really complaining about the auto tile system as if it is like not intuitive in some sort. So yeah, I hope that they somehow, address the issue. And again, in 4, it will be somewhat fixed. So,
Yeah, the auto tiling is actually, once you get your head around it, it's quite intuitive. Because people, for instance, here, let's see the auto tile. Region bit masks. People often think that these should the bit masks should like match the tile shape, but it's not quite like that. The bit mask is like basically a conditional statement. So you have 9 conditions to mix and match, and this bit mask basically says if this condition is met, we will use this tile. Basically, is that. So yeah, people often have like a really bad time trying to set this up.
Yeah, but as you've mentioned, it's probably the case of simply getting used to it and.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure they should like make something more intuitive like Unity's. Unity have a pretty intuitive one.
Yeah, the topic is quite interesting because I myself actually use tiles recently quite a lot for a small project I'm making for college, an engineering paper basically. And I'm actually using somewhat of your system that you've made together with Nathan some time ago, which was about basically moving a character on a map which was made using tiles. So yeah.
So it's top down?
I got kind of. Actually, it is a side scroller, sorry. But it kind of uses the same system that you've made, as I said.
Nice.
So thank you guys a lot for actually showing it. Nathan is a cool guy.
Huh?
I said that Nathan is actually a cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. When he's not.
You better about don't tell him.
When he's not trying to be too serious about stuff. But yeah, when he's not trying to like give really how can I say that? Yeah, Nathan is a good guy usually, but when he gets too tired, it's a bit difficult to handle. But I myself is not a good person to handle, so also be quite.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's basically human, you know.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not machines,
Everyone is human, so yeah, we have bad and good traits. God thank God Nathan knows how to handle my bad traits, because it's not everyone that can handle that. Yeah, the thing with this wall slide demo is that I don't know if it actually raycasts based or because
Yeah, because as always, yeah.
yeah, because the raycast play a main role here, but I don't know if I can actually make that with without them and still have the same feeling. I think that I will leave that way and ask Nathan if it is okay. But
Okay.
let's give the instructions for the kinematic bodies.
Obviously, as always, there are thousands upon thousands of ways to do things in programming, and one is not better than another. So yeah, it usually gets really confusing.
The thing is that with this project we are trying to make very self-contained explanations about one single node. So for instance, this one is about the kinematic bodies. So if for instance I proposed a demo using like path follows and path follows 2D together with kinematic bodies, and we decided that it wouldn't be a good choice because most of the responsibilities were leaning toward the path follow and the path 2D and path following system, and kinematic body was just a consequence of how these work. So we decided to remove it, and I'm quite feeling that this wall slide approach is a bit similar to that. Most of the system relies on the raycast, so I don't know. Yeah, I'll leave that to Nathan to judge.
Sure. Will you make like a sort of answer stream later on to basically come back to it, or you will just leave it as it is?
What? Didn't quite get.
Okay. Let me refactor my question.
Refactor my question.
Yeah.
A programmer correcting himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Like after you talk to Nathan about the issue, will you basically make another stream to explain the stuff, or
probably no, because it will be quite quickly to fix. It wouldn't be worth to do a live stream just for that. But if it happens that I will like have another chunk of work to do, and inside this chunk there is fix the wall slide approach, yeah, sure, I'll make a live stream for that.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully it works out, basically.
Is to detect. Let's detect. How can I say that? Good use case for kinematic bodies is to detect. How can I say that? Because we have like the floor, the walls, and the ceiling detection. How can I say? How can I generalize these aspects of collisions with a single word? Like another good use for kinematic bodies is to detect this kind of collision, like wall, ceiling, floor. Predefined or relative collisions?
Let me think.
Yeah, I think that relative can be a good choice. Relative. Motion. Collisions. Such as detecting walls. ceiling, and floor.
Would plane be a good candidate for the word, or not so much?
What? Wasn't paying attention.
Simply plane, if that word would be a good candidate for that.
Sorry, I still didn't get what you were talking about.
I suggested the word plane, like a
Plane?
surface.
Oh, plane surfaces.
Yeah, basically either plane or surface.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm not sure.
I don't know
if it would be.
Yeah, because for instance, on slopes, they can be considered to be floor, depending on how the motion, like the floor up direction, how you set the up direction of the floor, you can detect a slope as a floor or like a slope itself. So I don't know if plane. Yeah, I think that I will keep with the relative motion, because based on the motion you can detect like if this is on a floor, if this is a floor, if this is a wall, if this is a ceiling.
Sure, no problem. So with the tile map you also have slopes, like diagonal, basically tiles.
Yeah, I don't know if we have those. Yeah, I think that we don't have slopes on this tile set, but we definitely should have. I think that I'm going to ask Nathan for something like that.
No problem. I mean, obviously, one could basically do slopes as objects, but surely with a tile you will have a bit more control on the map itself.
Yeah, definitely.
It will probably be easier to. So yeah.
Although with the problems we are having with collisions, with tile map collisions, I think the best approach is to actually have separated objects for slopes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that at the moment the collision shapes within the tiles aren't very correct, so to say. But yeah, as I mentioned, hopefully in 4 it will be fixed. I mean, it needs to be fixed because they've hired
someone should work hard on specific tile sets. Yeah. So the next one, I think that I will work on top-down movement, or
Are you hyped for 4.0?
To be honest, no. I was more anxious for Godot 3, to be honest. But I think that with Godot 4, many new features and hopefully some bugs that were like for ages in Godot will be fixed, and especially the concern about performance will be
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, will be assessed. So yeah, I'm just not as hyped for it as I was with 3.0, but yeah, I'm quite anxious for it as well, just to see how the community will grow with that.
Yeah, because basically I'm quite hoping that 4.0 will bring many new users, or at least that the studios, like the more serious ones, will consider Godot also more seriously.
Definitely.
We need that, honestly, because basically the entire project's future in a way depends on that. We need donations and things in order to keep growing, which relies on basically the generosity of the community.
Yeah, that's a bit like the thing with this kind of projects is that we rely a lot on the work of others. Even though we support them, we are not 100%. We can't trust 100% that they will follow our directions. That's something that I think that on 2018, we had a discussion on the Godot project, talking about if we should support bounty hunting on Godot issues
Yeah.
or not, and I was like totally in for that, but seems like Remy wasn't quite fond of it, because we are going to make this Godot community a bunch of capitalists that will only work if we pay them. And I was like, yeah, guess what? People need to pay their food. They can like work for free every time. That's why most open source projects have like either slow development or are abandoned, because people
But
always
actually,
think.
to cheer you up, have you basically heard that they're actually planning, somewhat of the devs, they are actually planning to make a Godot merchandise. Basically, they're planning to create a store to sell either assets or basically, a merchandise. Which, in a way, could potentially monetize in some ways the project itself.
Yeah, I hope that this works, and I'm going to be really supportive of that, especially because merchandise is a good way to found projects. And
that's how basically Blender managed to be in the state that it is now. They are saying, some people, at least the ones who are experienced in the server, the official Discord server, that basically Blender as a software, as an idea actually, to say the least, managed to get up in such a state, mostly because at first themselves, the team, created some things called open source movies, and they're actually considering now to do the same with Godot but with games. So that's that, plus actually the merchandise / the Blender market that sells plugins and assets. These were the two critical things that basically provided Blender with attention and recognition.
Yeah,
so,
we had some discussions about that already back in 2018, when they are planning to release Godot 3.0, and I say exactly that. Like, we should start to work on projects for Godot, like if Godot was actually a game studio that creates games and use these games to showcase the features, and this will be a good opportunity to actually explore the features in depth, and they would see that some features need to be tested by professionals instead of like just engineers trying to think ahead and like think like in the head of an artist or a designer. Because, for instance, if you take the animation system of Godot, it works really well if you are a programmer, but if you are an artist, it just sucks a lot. The same thing goes for most of the design-oriented features, especially like if you take the visual language, it isn't anything close to what like Unreal has with the blueprints. Even though this was the main reference, the visual language just became something like, oh, this is we have a visual language, but it's just 1,000 times slower to make a simple statement than it is with text. So it basically doesn't work.
Sorry to interrupt you, but have you actually learned that with Unreal 5, Epic Games plans to actually implement their own kind of scripting language, just like GDScript?
Yeah, and it's quite like it's very similar to GDScript. But the thing is that this will make it more available for designers people like myself, designers that know how to code but are too lazy to implement really performance-oriented code. So this is the target audience for this kind of scripting language. On the other hand, the visual the visual script is more oriented towards artists that doesn't know how to code at all. So these are the two. They now have three audiences, which are the engineers that can work on C++ directly, the artist that doesn't know how to code but can connect stuff using the visual language, and now they are going towards the more design oriented audience that knows how to code but aren't really efficient as an engineers, like people like myself, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, with those kinds of projects, Godot will see that some of the features that the engineers are implementing are not really optimized for the end user. So this would lead to way more polished release than we are having currently, because they will see that they will get feedback from actual artists in an actual project, actually using the features they created, and they will get all the feedback to get a real neat workflow for this kind of audience, like the end user audience. And when we talked about that back in 2018, they were like, no, we are open source. If studios need improvements on the workflow, they can access the code and do it themselves. And I was like, oh, yeah, you have a point, but that's not how you make a product. And they say, Godot is not a product, it's a project, so we are not trying to compete with anyone. And I was like, oh, yeah, this boring talk again. You guys should grow up and understand that if you are in the market, you are a product. Either you're selling it or not, you are competing with everyone else. And now they look like they are understanding that they need to find a way to found themselves.
They're basically opening up to the matter and adapting in some ways.
Yeah, they just took 3 years for doing that.
By the way, do you actually read the chat? Because there are people that ask questions.
Oh no, I wasn't reading the chat. I was engaged in this conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, source for the merch news. Do you have the source? I think that there was a blog
actually
post.
Told the guy to. I've actually basically heard the news from the officials on the Godot server. On the Discord. And basically, a guy called TMM, who is a moderator there, is actually working on the server side of the store, basically. So all the questions can surely be directed to him. And
one of the coolest things about this new platform is that we are finally going to sell Godot assets there. The Godot project will take a cut, but yeah, it's amazing. This will definitely make the community grow, because currently it's too hard to actually make a decent game with Godot, because we don't have a team. It's not really easy to find a team that everyone knows and works with Godot and has a decent workflow with Godot. And so most people that use Godot are probably solo developers, which are more efficient trying to make assets than to making games. And this will be like a really good way to monetize the work of these people.
Yeah, because the issue is the fact that we surely have an amazing asset library already in the engine, but
nobody uses it.
Mentioned yourself. Again, I didn't hear. Could you repeat?
We have a decent library of assets in Godot, but most people don't use it, especially because there isn't an ecosystem around it.
Yeah. So actually, there was even a discussion, basically about having a trace system in Godot, which sounds, at least to me, to be a quite essential feature, at least when it comes to basically doing 3D games. And basically, we've been wondering if it should be either as a plugin or as a core feature. And obviously, the issue is the fact that if that would be a core feature, it would need to be 100% be, basically maintained by some official dev, not exactly by the community. So that basically increases the amount of needed resources for development.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with the merchandise, that could be somehow solved, since we'd get more, as at least as a project, resources to basically maintain such things. And honestly, I hope that one day Godot will actually go beyond just games, because honestly, you can actually do, at least in my opinion, some non-game apps with the engine. Like, the UI system in Godot is so superior than in other engines that it's actually
Unity.
easy.
You can name them.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, my point is that basically it's so easy to do things when it comes to UI, and what we lack of is probably some database, some serious database integration, but it's not that hard to make an actual desktop app, because you can look up to some projects and you will find that people have made already some very decent map editors using Godot, even some graphical apps, even for mobile ones. One of them is like premium and is called, if I am not wrong, Heavy Paint, and basically its brush system is quite amazing. So yeah, and if you haven't heard of it, I can tell you a little trivia that even Tesla, like that company.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Quite amazing.
Yeah.
That was really.
they've stated an offer which requires you to be experienced in Godot. So basically, my point is that the Tesla bastards should be
Tesla
donating something to the Godot engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the moment they haven't donated anything, and they should.
Yeah, I don't
They
think
should,
that they
because
should,
we
but
need
I think that they will, because this will be investment for them as well. So at some point they will probably invest some
I mean,
resources on
I mean,
Godot.
think about it. If they are using this tool to provide some very serious applications for their clients, which are basically, drivers, they need to make sure that whatever they're using is safe to use. Otherwise, there will be obviously some complications.
Mhm.
Which means that if they want to have a reliable tool, they should. I mean, they're not poor. They obviously do have some capital and income, which means that they could spare like 1 million basically. I hope it wouldn't be too much, but it would ensure that for the future they will have a maintained engine to use for their purposes.
Yeah, that will probably happen, in my opinion, right? The thing is that they didn't found any project in Godot yet, because there is no reason for that. It already provides all the features that they need for the things that they need. But I think that at some point, when they need some integration or maybe some feature, they will probably hire someone to implement that and contribute back to the community. Because if we, let's say they will found, let's say with 1 million Godot, they will just put the money there and let the community do whatever. Probably the persons that will work with this money will be the people that are core for the engine, like Juan, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
And while Juan could be working on other features that are better for the community, or that will give more value to the community itself. So I think that the way that Tesla will probably contribute back is by hiring someone and making some pull requests with features that they need. This is the way I see that.
Yeah, I mean, actually hiring devs would work pretty much as well. The only issue is if Juan would basically accept the pull request.
Yeah,
Because
this is the core issue, to be honest.
Yeah, because I actually heard from the community that sadly Juan is like a tough guy when it comes to maintaining the project. Like, as of today, if I'm not wrong, there must be like 5,000 open requests that are still not addressed. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, this is. I think that at some point, due to that attrition in the project, probably Godot will be forked, and there will be like more than one Godot project parallel with, like, just like happened with Bitcoin. Like, you have Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and people there was very conservative and didn't like many changes, and then they created the what is the name of that one? Litecoin? Yeah, Litecoin, right? I think that it was Litecoin. Let me see.
Is it Ethereum?
No, Ethereum is another protocol, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
LTC, yeah. Litecoin.
Ah,
So
yeah,
Litecoin
that's it.
is basically a fork of Bitcoin that people say, no, we are going to implement every technology that sounds like a good thing to have in Bitcoin. And yeah, and it worked very well. So I think that this is the future that I see to Godot. Many forks, people just implementing the stuff that one didn't approve, and yeah, I think that this is going to be the future. That's the beauty of open source. It's a bit different from like it's a bit different from Blender, for instance, where most features are oriented to the end user and stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind Godot to be forked.
Yeah, neither would
As
I.
long as
Actually, I'm
yeah.
cheering for that to happen. I like competition. They will have to work hard to maintain the best product for us. Okay, so this is something I don't know how to do yet, but let's see. I'm pretty sure that Kids Can Code already have a video for that. Kids Can Code, kinetic body.
Retrospectively,
Hmm?
since I started to use the engine like 3 years ago already, man, time flies so fast. You can actually believe it. But yeah, since then,
Welcome back to another Godot recipe.
basically there are
I've decided
many,
this video
many,
I've
many
seen a
more
lot of
resources and
Can I
tutorials.
get
for
just sorry for the interruption, but can I get a strike by watching Kids Can Code video? I don't know if it's like Creative Commons. Okay, so yeah.
in
Okay.
the community
Sorry.
about how to handle
No problem.
kinematic bodies interacting with rigid bodies. It can generic things right now. So if I move that, things are not behaving the way you. If we look at the code, we're process our jump, and here infinite inertia is true by default, and that's what's doing the pushing when we run into a rigid body 2D. It's telling the math what's causing our problem, as if it was a static body, right? And now I have no way to move these. So that solved part of the problem, but now I can't push them at all. And the way we fix that is going to be when we detect a collision with a rigid body, we want to apply an impulse to it.
Okay. What were you talking? Sorry.
Actually, we've ended the topic. Yeah, I actually wanted to say that since I've used the engine, there are now today more and more tutorials. Like, it's incomparable to the amount we had like these years ago that I've mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of actually tutorials, do you, I mean, not sure if you can tell, but do you actually plan together with the team to put up a networking series or some course?
On GD Quest, we
You-
have a small series about network as well. I don't know how
Yeah.
outdated it is because network is a topic that changes from quite frequently in Godot. But yeah, I think that we already have a pretty decent network system, especially some videos sponsored by Nakama, which is a server thing. I don't know because I didn't work with this project. But yeah, there are some videos about networking which are very enlightening. I'm pretty sure that someone like me, for instance, I'm unleathered in networking, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that someone like me can watch it and implement whatever feature they want.
Yeah, Nakama is basically a like generic server architecture that has a Godot plugin. So they sponsored Godot in the past and got some visibility.
Yeah, I really hope that these companies that sponsor Godot has get some attention because, for instance, I don't know if you actually saw that engine coin, which has a pretty cool project going on. Yeah, they I bought some of the coins and I'm just waiting to learn how to use the system and the blockchain to make a game about it, because the main thing that I can see with the proposal that they have is that you are going to be able to have every game on your studio to talk with each other, like create a expanded universe, and this sounds like amazing to me.
Yeah, sure.
So now we need a rock rigid body. Okay, so at this moment we shouldn't be able to push it. Rigid, custom integration, cancel it. Linear. Why isn't it falling?
Oh yeah, by the way, someone in the chat requested to lower the music a little bit because it's a bit loud compared to our voices. Yeah.
Okay, hope this fix. Thanks for the feedback also. Can we lower the music a slight bit? It's a bit loud compared to your voices. yeah, hope this fixed the issue. But rock. Isn't it supposed to fall already? There's so many times since I worked with rigid bodies that I don't know how they work
Yeah,
anymore.
actually, I wanted to ask you, since you have some experience with the physics engine in the Godot, how would you rate it? Is it good enough, or should it be somewhat improved as well?
At some point, they are amazing. For instance, making moving platforms in Godot is the most is the easiest workflow that is out there. If you ever try to make a moving platform in Unity, you know what I'm saying. Like related to these stuff, like one-way collisions, Godot handle them pretty awesomely as well. Different from Unity as well. I don't know how. To be honest, I'm working with Godot for so many time exclusively that I don't know how other engines are today compared to it. But since these features are in Godot since I started work with it, and Unity didn't have them, I'm going to compare with Unity back in like 2016. So yeah, but regarding something that Godot isn't quite, I think that until today Godot doesn't have the features that are necessary for using these physics to their maximum. Like pin joints are not good in Godot yet. They should really give some attention to joints, like string joint, pin joint, these stuff. And I think that rigid body and area 2D don't quite interact as they were designed to. You know, like physics overriding and stuff like this doesn't quite work as expected. I don't know if this is something that needs some custom features, but out of the box they don't work quite as expected.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate basically that there are some issues with as well, but
For
it's
instance,
not an easy thing
why
to do.
this rock is not falling? You know,
Yeah.
the rigid body is at this point where I don't know when things, why things are not working, even though we set them up. Can sleep? Should I? Yeah. Context reporter sleeping. Can sleep.
Does it have any like force applied on it?
Shouldn't have
What
any.
about velocity?
Huh?
What about velocity, basically? Because I may be wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, a rigid body needs a force to basically move. But
Shouldn't
yeah,
gravity
not sure
be?
about it.
Shouldn't gravity be enough to like at least trigger?
Yeah, but I thought myself that basically at the very beginning the gravity is already applied on the object, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
What
doesn't
about
seems like.
yeah?
Yeah, it
Could
seems
you
like it.
check could you check the tab called Applied Forces if there's anything there to
Applied forces.
take a look at? It's basically below the linear
Yeah, fine.
thing. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, it seems like it needs a kickstart to to work.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Maybe it's also back in the engine. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably there's
I'll take a
something
look.
back there.
I'll take a quick look.
Mm. Yeah, so. So I think that I'm going to.
Yeah,
add
I'm
this.
actually testing myself this one because it's really strange.
Right. So this needs some gravity. It looks like the more mass I add to it, the less effect gravity has on it. So
While it should be the exact opposite
yeah,
that you
that it
picked.
should be the exact opposite. That's why it's so confusing. Why did the music stop? So let me see if I can decrease that and see the effects. Yeah, it's the exact opposite. I decreased
Yeah.
the weight, and the weight, the mass actually, and like the stone is like really heavy now. Okay. Yeah, probably someone changed the gravity direction somewhere here. Physics to the physics.
Perhaps one comes from a different dimension where
Yeah.
the laws of physics
So yeah,
don't apply.
this
Basically.
this explains
Yeah.
the issue. Yeah, so we have another projects here, which the photogravity vector. Is there a way that I can override this and not using an RHD? The body gravity is calculated from the photo. Okay, so I'm going to create an RHD here just to override this gravity override RHD. Okay, this should do the trick. Let's see. Yeah. So all issues fixed, I guess. Nope. Oh, I think it's because gravity override. Oh shit. No. I don't know if the RHD overrides the rock, or if the rocks overrides itself when in contact with an RHD. Oh,
Or both.
yeah, there is this. There is also this possibility, but I think that this should be the point.
So basically, you've set the gravitational force in the settings to be
0.
wait, yeah.
Yeah, that's because someone is making a tutorial for rigid body. What is it? Yeah, rigid body, and probably they had to change something. They had to change this setting. But yeah, probably.
So you basically can't like make it the default value.
No, Yeah, so I
Okay.
have to use this area to the
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the right.
Now I get you. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, but
Jesus
it
is
works
king.
already.
Someone,
Yeah, that's
someone
it.
said that in the chat.
Now I just have to. Um, I'm going to export a pull and a push speed. Jesus. Unexpected 2 arguments. I don't know if I should implement the pulling mechanic in I don't know. I don't have a solution for it already, so I'll have to think about it. So that's why I changing the name of the demo to push only instead of push and pull. When I figure out how to pull, I will implement it. But yeah, for
You mean pulling rigid bodies, right?
yeah,
Or
pulling rigid bodies.
okay.
Yeah. Let's create a push animation.
Well, one quick, I mean, not easy, but quick way that came up to my mind would be basically to apply a similar force that you are trying basically with the push, but in a reverse way. But again, it's just something that came up
Yeah,
as
the
the
thing
first thought. So I'm not
is,
sure.
that there are some complexity at pulling,
Yeah, exactly.
because you have to know, for instance, when pushing you just need to get the contact and apply the force, right? Apply the impulse.
Yeah.
But when pulling you
Mhm.
have to check if let's say a given action is pressed. So when this contact happens, you start to pull the thing, and you have to figure out not just the contact, but also like a small area around this that can just so the effect can be applied decently. Because if you think about it, let's say you are in collision with a rigid body, this will basically happen on a single frame. So how do you will tell the player to press the the the, the grab action, for instance, so the player can pull it? This is something that I will have to figure out, and I don't think that I can do that without using RSTDs and stuff like this.
In most games, I believe a pulling mechanic, in a nutshell, works as if you hold a button, and then the rest happens as you said, basically.
Oh,
But yeah, there can be some complications.
yeah, that there can be like you press the button and you check for the collision, right?
Yeah.
I think that this still leads to the problem where the collision only happens in a single frame. I don't know. They should stay like that. Yeah, and left, like front.
I'll be right back in a moment, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, be right back.
Okay, but when does it reset to 0 or to false? Mm. Pushing is going to be equal to Have to fix that. Yeah. Think that I'm going to need a raycast, but I'm going to polish that later. I already passed half an hour from my schedule. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Really hoped that you enjoyed. I think that I would do that more. It was quite fun to work with you guys on live. Yeah, what do you think about it? Do you have any questions? I really need to eat and go to the workout. Don't know if you guys noticed, but I lose some weight. I'm getting really into working out. Jesus is King, yay! Can we lower? Okay, what are you trying to do with the rock? We are trying to add a push mechanic, so and a pulling mechanic as well. So yeah, the thing is that with a rigid body and a kinematic body, this is quite a hassle to do, because rigid bodies aren't supposedly to interact directly with kinematic bodies, so we have to disable the infinite inertia and stuff like this in order to allow it to apply some forces to the rigid body. Yeah, that's it. And I think that if the rigid body is heavy enough, we won't be able to push it. Yeah, cool. So this is the thing. Oh, okay, so I can enable... have a plan to fix this issue. To fix this issue of pushing actually. Yeah, but I still going to need a raycast for that, which I'm going to do later today, off screen. Did you figure out the sliding issue with radio rotation script? No, not yet. Yeah, that's something that I have to do before Friday, which is the deadline. But yeah, have to figure that out. I'm just going to study Moonteaser script because I don't remember how did I implement that there. But yeah, should be a hassle to do. Shouldn't be hard. Guess he is. Have you watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Did you figure? Look, the difference between that and the Moonteaser script was the gravity was being applied first. Can it be that? Thanks for the suggestion. I will definitely take a look on that. Let me just print this print screen that, especially to give credits. So yeah, everyone, I really have to go. I have to make some brunch and get ready for working out. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to stop the live stream. Do you guys have any questions? This is the last moment to ask any. First, yeah, the first to first to leave. Oh, the monetizations were off. Really have to start turning on the monetizations for my live streams. Hey, you guys, you could definitely donate some money, right? I'm accepting tips. It was nice. See you soon. Yeah, see you. I'll probably do more of those as soon as I can. Man, I miss your glasses. Yeah, I'm ugly without them. I actually... Where are they? I bought some, but you know, I'm really into sunglasses at the moment. Really hope you guys enjoy my, my new aesthetics. No, but seriously, I bought already the wires, but I still have to make the lens. And yeah, I really missing my glasses as well. Can't see shit without them. I'm using sunglasses because walking on the streets without sunglasses here on where I live is impossible. The sky is too bright, because the clouds on the sky are always very white and they reflect sunlight everywhere. So yeah, everyone, it's like it should be a right to have a sunglass here where I live. Like, state should guarantee for everyone that everyone has a sunglass. You should use one as well, Honey Badger. I never saw you with a sunglass. Apocalyptic glasses. Yeah. So that's it, everyone. See you guys on the next one. Gonna stop the stream. And the music got really dark, didn't it? Oh, we fall into a dark synthwave mix. No copyrights, thank God. Okay, see you everyone. Have a good week.